presidents have experienced alien encounters and unexplained sightings over the nation's soil. Could there be a significant connection between an alien presence and the leaders of the free world?
If extraterrestrials came to Earth, particularly the United States, and landed here and wanted to communicate with us, they would probably want to communicate with the leader of the United States, the commander-in-chief of the armed forces.
As a result of these encounters, U.S. presidents may have changed our country, or even the world. But a 1952 sighting struck fear into the public's heart when a nation under President Harry Truman received an alien visit right over the Capitol. Unsealed case file, the White House alien invasion.
In 1952, there was a huge increase in UFO sightings across the nation. You would call this a UFO wave. From coast to coast, UFOs were pretty much seen everywhere. But in 1952, a very historic event took place over the skies of Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C. At 11:40 p.m. on July 19, 1952, an air traffic controller at Washington National Airport reportedly spotted 7 unidentified objects southwest of the city on radar.
According to the air traffic controller who tracked these objects over the Capitol, they were moving in erratic fashion, something that no one was familiar with in normal aircraft.
The objects moved into positions above the Capitol, the Pentagon, and the White House.
The sighting above the Capitol in Washington, D.C. caused a lot of panic and fear. Let's face it, the military couldn't explain it, and this was an extreme threat to the President of the United States and our Congress and our politicians there in Washington.
Witnesses calculate the objects to be moving at 100 miles per hour and accelerating to as much as 7,200 miles per hour as they roam freely above Washington. Following the incident, President Harry Truman demands answers to the flying saucer problem.
This wasn't just a UFO appearance over some isolated desert spot. This was a UFO formation over Washington, D.C. And in a very unguarded, unscripted moment before the press, President Harry Truman disclosed to the American people that UFOs were real.
Did the Joint Chiefs of Staff talk to you about the unidentified flying objects?
Oh, yes, we discussed it at every conference that we had. There's always things like that going on. Flying saucers, and they've had other things, you know.
The Air Force launches a UFO investigation named Project Blue Book. But their research over 17 years concludes UFOs are easily explainable. The program abruptly ends in 1969.
Most of what we're dealing with in these reports is almost certainly fantasy.
Could Project Blue Book have simply been a government cover-up to quell the American public's fear of UFOs?
Many people believed, especially after this, that not only were UFOs real, but the government was trying to cover them up.
In fact, some stories indicate that presidents of the 20th century not only knew about alien life, they may have had the bodies to prove it. Inverness, Florida, February 19th, 1973. President Richard Nixon steps on to the Inverness Golf and Country Club, hole number 18. He is there to meet his friend, actor and comedian Jackie Gleason, to help open a charity golf tournament. But according to a story reported by Air Force security officer Larry Warren, the event is allegedly the beginning of a presidential alien encounter.
Gleason was an avid UFO reader, and he said he pressured Richard Nixon to tell him about UFOs, what did the government know about UFOs, and Nixon, supposedly, according to Larry Warren, Gleason keeps pushing President Nixon to show him the UFO, show him an alien body, show him some kind of proof of UFOs. Nixon refuses.
According to Warren's tale, Gleason later reported that Nixon had finally given in and revealed An extraterrestrial secret.
Nixon, close to midnight, showed up at Jackie Gleason's house, driving his own private car. No Secret Service, no security. Tells Gleason to get in. He says, you want to see something? I'll show you something. They drive to Homestead Air Force Base, pass through security. The president shows Gleason these remains of extraterrestrials, aliens, encased in some kind of what Jackie Gleason described to Larry Warren as a Coke dispenser freezer.
The U.S. presidency holds many secrets. We may never know for sure if the tale of Nixon and alien bodies is true. But we may have proof that one president actually met aliens alive. When we return, this is Unseen.